Good afternoon, Your Honor. We are here in case 24-CR-1275, State of Ohio versus Colleen M. Kelly. Present in court is the defendant, who's accompanied by her attorney, Mr. Jim Matthews. We were previously here on March 3rd, 2025. At that time, the defendant withdrew her previously entered plea of not guilty and entered a plea of guilty to count 1, possession of cocaine, a felony of the fifth degree, with a voluntary forfeiture of all contraband and instrumentalities. This matter was referred to the Lake County Probation Department for a pre-sentence investigation report, as well as for a drug and alcohol evaluation. Those reports have been prepared. The state has had an opportunity to review them and is ready to proceed with sentencing. There are 51 days of jail time credit. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
They included the...
Mr. Matthews, any reason not to go forward with sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, Ms. Kelly does wish to be put on community control. Ideally, from her perspective, the court would consider releasing her, having her attend an intensive outpatient treatment program, permit her to begin enrolling in school and working on rebuilding her relationship with her children. She does have a statement she wishes to read to the court.
Ms. Kelly, you have the right to address the court before your sentence. You can say anything you want. Anything you want to say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to waste your time. This is a letter I wrote on Wednesday, and I was debating whether or not to send it to you. But pretty much, it says, Honorable Judge Collada, first I'd like to say thank you for taking a few moments of your time to read or listen to what I have to say on my own behalf, since I'm truly the only one who knows who I am. I also like to state that in my opinion, no offense, Mr. Matthews, that Mr. Matthews has not been the best representation for me. And I don't feel that he takes anything into consideration I say or brings it to you. He only responds with something negative, telling me that it won't happen, that you're going to say no to it, that it's going to be denied. And so he kind of puts me already, like feeling at a loss. I'm not going to make excuses for the choices I've made that have led me to the fortunate or unfortunate events in my life, because they were my choices. And I am a true believer that everything happens for a reason, good or bad. And we learn to live with these choices we make, but when it comes to addiction, that's not a choice anyone gets to make, because that gets passed down from generation to the next generation. It's hereditary and genetic for the most part. The reason I say that it's for the most part is because no one's to blame for the disease of addiction itself. But I can say that I have been a stumbling block for my children due to the fact that they have seen me in my active addiction at times and may have condoned them to use as well. When it came to weed, yes, the gateway drug. And I am kind of a crappy mother for that and for allowing them to do that. I would rather have had them doing that around me, though, than to end up doing something and dying like I had, because it was laced with something more dangerous. And how could I say anything when I myself was using as well? Then I'd be nothing more than another hypocrite. I know that I'm a good person. Sometimes I care and worry too much about others, and I forget about myself. And I'm grateful that I've had this time to sit and reflect on so many things, but at the same time, it has made me feel, and as an addict, feelings sometimes aren't always a good thing. But being here, I've learned different coping skills to deal with these, and I finally gotten my medications in my system that I have needed now for a long time. Because not only am I an addict, but I also suffer from or struggle with mental health now as well. And I plan to continue my treatment with Crossroads, possibly Signature Health when needed. I'm planning on enrolling in college for fine arts, maybe a few electives. I have some jobs already lined up. I have phone numbers of other addicts in recovery. I have some physical ailments that I need to look into still, and I have my mind focused on a better life, the one that I have been, than the one that I have been living. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because staying sober is one of the hardest things an addict can and will do, but I know where my heart and mind are, and I know that as long as drugs are involved, I can't have any of those things that I just mentioned. I would like a chance to get my life back and build a relationship again with my children and try to fix what I've broken in my own relationship with certain people. I'd like my children to look at me like they used to, and I want to have them know that I do care about them and love them. I need them more than they need me right now. Sorry. I want my family to be proud of me again and given a chance. I know I can do all of this. I'm not just a lost cause or another dollar sign for anybody.
What's that mean, dollar sign for anybody?
I just feel like a dollar sign to the city, to the jail, to the public defender. Just,
They're making money off of you? I'm making money off of you?
every day I sit in the jail, is all I'm saying.
Every day it's in the jail is costing us counting money. We're not making out, we're losing money because you're sitting in jail. $65 a day for everybody that sits over there. You paid that? No, I paid
And
that. They pay, everyone else paid that.
I was under the impression that, I'm sorry, I was under the wrong impression.
The fact Mr. Matthews told you something and you said he was wrong. He said,
I'm a strong woman with a good heart who wants to change the world and make everything good. But if I'm not good enough for myself, then I'm no good to anyone else. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry I upset you.
so what are you asking for? I guess I don't know what you're asking for, Miss Kelly.
I'm asking just to be given a chance to try to get my life back.
So you're supposed to let you out and you're going to do that all on your own?
No, I already have phone numbers of people that have told me that I could call and they would pick me up. They're in.
How are you going to address the drug issue? Oh, you don't have a drug issue according to you.
I do have a drug issue, yes, sir.
No, he told probation. Told probation you didn't have a drug problem.
I never spoke with probation.
So that lady right there.
On the monitor. Okay. When did I say I didn't have a drug problem?
No, she's not there to answer your questions. When
No,
you
I do have a drug addiction. I never said I did not.
So you didn't need treatment. You don't need people telling you what to do with your body. You can do whatever you want with your body. You don't remember any of that?
I'm not making any excuses, Your Honor. I may not have been on my medication at that time either. I have been struggling with mental health, and they finally have given me the medications, and they're working. And I asked if I could continue my mental health treatment with her, and she said yes. I just needed to make an appointment, and she would continue it on the outside of here. She listened to what I asked for. She went ahead and proceeded to give it to me, and so far it's been working. I have been going to meetings in the jail. Every meeting that they have, I go to. I even go to the domestic violence. I've been getting any kind of information that I can get so that I can try to start off on the right foot instead of walking out and...
So you don't remember this? The defendant does not believe she has a problem with drugs. The officer asked the defendant if she believes she needs treatment. She stated no, but I'm sure everyone else thinks I do. I just need people to stay out of my life. What I do with my body is my business and everyone else should stay out of it. That sounds like someone that thinks they...
I may have said that. I don't know what my day was like that day also. Your Honor.
You think she just made it up?
No, I never said that. I just said I don't know what my day
You
had.
said you may have said that.
You asked me if I remembered. There's a lot of things I don't remember.
Because of drugs.
You're right. Because of drugs. I just said 2 years ago I did a drug that's the devil's drug, and that was meth. And I'll regret that for my whole
life. You're in
life.
a position right now that you can walk out these doors and you're not going to use. You couldn't come to court sober last time you were here, and you were out and about on your own. You deny that too. You deny having used any of those drugs. That
No,
you
I
tested
said
positive.
I had smoked weed.
But you tested positive for a lot more than weed.
I don't know if the weed was laced. Nothing is real anymore. It's more of a job anymore. I don't even enjoy doing the drugs. And I'm grateful that I've had this time to sit there because it gave me almost 45 days to start with some kind of a foundation, a strong foundation. I was in the program years ago. I had 5 years. I was a secretary. I was a chairperson. I was doing the events. I'd go to the camp outside. I'd go in early. I'd set up the chairs.
So you're willing to go to inpatient treatment program?
If that's what you feel I need. I mean, I can do the IOPs. I can do house arrest.
That's not what I said.
Inpatient, yes. If that's what you would like me to go to, I will go to an inpatient treatment.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No.
You don't have to. Just make sure you said everything you wanted to say.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Matthews, anything else on behalf of the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Himmeline for the state?
Your Honor, the defendant does have a lengthy criminal history, much of which involves drugs. She has been placed on probation in the past. In her 2017 Cuyahoga County case, she had 6 probation violations before she was sentenced to incarceration. And the same thing occurred in this court in 2020 when she was sentenced to prison for her probation violations. The defendant mentioned today that there's no choice in addiction, but she has the choice to change her life. And her lack of insight is concerning, and coupled with her prior history of failing to comply with terms of probation. She did also not take any responsibility for her behavior in this case. She indicated to probation that the police set her up, and that probation also somehow tampered with her drug testing results. She did pick up new charges while she was out on bond on this case. She has a 2025 case with Mentor where she is scheduled for sentencing and again tested positive while she was out on bond on this case. So for all of those reasons, the state does recommend either a prison sentence or at a minimum that she be placed into NeoCap. Thank you, Your Honor.
No, that sure wasn't.
I have reviewed the pre-sentence report and evaluation, drug and alcohol evaluation, pre-sentence report and investigation, drug and alcohol evaluation. It's considered the facts and circumstances of the offense involved, the nature of the offense. I've considered everything that's been said here today by Mr. Kelly, the prosecutor, Mr. Matthews, the recommendations. All this is considered by the court in light of purposes and principles of felony sentencing set forth in 29-29-11. As for the factors in 29-29-12, nothing stands out factually indicating it's more or less serious. As for recidivism factors, all of these factors are present indicating recidivism is more likely in the future, pretty much guaranteed. Defendant has a lengthy, very lengthy criminal history. She's served multiple prison terms before.
Mm-hmm.
She has not responded favorably to previously imposed sanctions. There's a lengthy history of probation violations. She's been on probation in me before. She had multiple violations. She had 6 violations in Cuyahoga County. She doesn't follow conditions of probation. And that's fact. Our whole history here is just one probation violation after another. She was on bond to me in this case, and she committed another offense. You're shaking your head you didn't commit an offense. You're saying you didn't commit an offense? You're sentencing.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No.
I never said I did not commit an offense.
You're sitting there shaking your head like that. No, that's not true.
I wasn't shaking my head for that.
Okay. She committed a new offense while she was on bond. She violated her bond in this case by showing up to court high as a kite. I don't think I've ever had anyone show up in the condition that she's been in before for court hearing.
I wasn't high that day, Your Honor. I was told by Mr. Matthews that I did not have to go in front of you that day.
So
Him and my fiance both told me.
So what's that mean?
He said that it was just a meeting,
Okay,
and
so-
I was anxious. I hadn't been on my medications.
You tested positive that day. Oh, is that what?
I had smoked weed on Friday.
Is that what they tampered with?
Your Honor, I never said that they tampered with my. I never said that.
Well, you showed your.
I
tested
smoked weed
positive.
on Friday.
Huh?
I smoked weed on Friday, not on the day that I came in. I was anxious. I was a nervous wreck because sitting in jail does nothing for someone who's
You
got an
tested positive
addiction.
for amphetamines, methamphetamines, and cocaine.
It doesn't mean that that's what I did. I smoked weed on
Doesn't mean
Friday.
that's what you did. You mean you can use one thing, which you didn't even test positive for, and it comes back positive.
You told me
for,
that it came up positive for weed.
Positive for
When I brought
amphetamines,
it up to you,
amphetamine.
and I said it should have never come up, or I said the weed never came up.
The fact of the matter is, you used on Friday, and you were on bond, and you weren't supposed to use. She's not here to answer your questions, all right? She's not going to sit here like you treated her during the PSR and be rude to her and be demanding and say, I want this and I want that. Same way you treated the gal from the OCAP.
I was not disrespectful to her.
You're very disrespectful. Absolutely zero remorse in this case. She actually denies committing the crime in this offense to the probation department. Those are all factors indicating recidivism is more likely. There's nothing indicating it's not. On the 29-29-13B1, court finds defendant previously served a prison term. Prison is consistent with the purposes and principles of sentencing. Questions whether you're amenable to community control sanctions. And the fact of the matter is, you're here with us here. You deny even committing the offenses that you pled guilty to. So you came in and pled guilty, but then you went to probation and denied even doing this. You claim you didn't have a drug problem to the probation department, though you tested positive multiple times. You had a horrible attitude with the probation department. You were rude. You were questioning them. Very similar to probably what
I
you're
was
doing.
upset, Your Honor.
You gonna let me talk? I don't care about your explanations. I told you need to go there and be open and honest with them and be respectful. And you don't go in there and be rude to them and treat them the way you treated them and be demanding. You're in no position to be demanding that they give you copies of everything. That's not the way it works.
I asked her for a copy, and she said I didn't have the right to have one.
Right, 100%
That
right.
it wasn't my. If it was
Then you demanded
my,
the same thing from the gal from NeoCat.
I asked for a copy. If it had to do with my information, that's public record.
No, it's not. So you're the lawyer now. You know all this.
No, I'm not a lawyer.
Well, that's not public record. Those reports aren't public record. And when they told you that you weren't going to get them, you treat them rudely and you're insistent and questioning them. That's not the way it goes. You told probation you don't need treatment. You can come in here on the day of your sentencing and change your whole tune, but you went over there, and I told you when you go over there, you need to be open and honest with them about everything that's going on. And then you show up here, again, when you know that you could be going to prison, and you change everything you said to them in terms of, now I think I have a drug problem. I do need treatment. That's not what you said to them. Nobody's going to tell you what to do with your body. You don't need treatment. You've been sitting there for 40 days now or whatever it is, and you're sober now, and you're good to go. That shows zero insight. Prison is consistent with the purposes and principles of sentencing. There's just no way, based on your history, with the multiple probation violations, and then the attitude you displayed here to the probation department, that you're amenable to community control sanctions. Therefore, it's a sentence to this court that the defendant serve a term in prison of 9 months. She has credit for 51 days she's already served. need to advise you upon your release. You may be placed on post-release control for up to 2 years. If you are and you're violating any of those conditions, the parole authority can send you back to prison as punishment for violating their rules for another 4.5 months, the maximum being 50% of the term I just imposed. Any additional prison term imposed for violating post-release control is being imposed as part of the sentence at this time. Court disapproves the defendant's placement in a program of shock incarceration, intensive prison program, or transfer or transitional control, and the defendant's ordered to pay all costs in this action. Is there anything else for the record, Ms. Timmerline?
Just a voluntary forfeiture, Your Honor.
Or contraband, any contraband seized or forfeited?